boys and girls, Friendshipper here. So we are back with one of the baddest Descendant in the game, who is Ultimate Viessa. So that sword is really badass. I mean, it just looks so cool to me, but yeah, I know, I really think it fits. Anyways, so the goal here was to find a build that's different in some aspect, okay, at least in the gameplay, and well, obviously some things are going to be the same, right? Like builds are very similar to each other, but in terms of playstyle, I have a lot of options with this, like so many options, okay, like things I don't even use often, but it's powerful, it's strong, it's useful, okay. So I will take you through the build, then while doing that I will ask you take you through, I would say, the multiple options that this build will give you. Like, what can you do? What kind of combos can you come up with to defeat enemies, certain type of enemies, which kind of enemies, right? Bosses, elites, whatever. Like, well, what should you do? What can you do? Okay. Right. So let's just go towards it right away. So first of all, Death by 1,000 Cuts, okay? Just because it is super cool and because, well, like was the first option you have. So I would say, I would call it the light option. So your number one is a powerful, not too much, but it's kind of powerful if you spam it. And thanks to the insane cooldown I have with this build, okay? So I have, well, pretty much, well, max cooldown, okay? I mean, the minimum. So it's as fast as it gets, okay? And when you use your number one, you get 4 stacks for this, okay? Because it's considered an explosive projectile. And at 12 stacks, this activates, okay? And this is very, very powerful, like really strong. It's a few million damage, okay? And you're going to be able to spam your number one every 0.7 seconds. So in approximately, well, every 12 seconds, you can spawn Death by 1,000 Cuts. So super cool, looks super nice, amazing animation, and that's your first powerful option, okay? I would say then, number two isn't really an option in itself. So number four. Number four, as you can see, has a 5 seconds cooldown, okay? So you can use it anytime you want. You can chain it if you want. I would say it's quite powerful. Personally, I really like to use number 4 than number 2, pretty much together on elites. I think it's a super strong option you can go with. Then there is, I would say, well, if you have a lot of enemies spawning around you and they all have a lot of HP, you can just go crazy, spawn number 4. Okay, spawn number 3 often, and then keep spamming number 1 as well to trigger Death by 1,000 Cuts all the time while number 4 is active, you know, like everything is just going to get through. Right, so let's go over the build quick, then I will give you the rest of the options because there is more to that, okay? Alright, so, oh, well, bunch of cooldowns, so MP conversion, nimble fingers, and 2 focus modes, okay? But for the power, and well, so I would say the critical hit rate and the critical hit damage and the power together, you know, front lines, skill concentration, front lines because it gives you skill critical hit damage. There is another one that people like to use, okay? Emergency measures. This one gives you more skill critical hit rate, which you do not need at Viessa to crit, okay? You pretty much get to almost 100%, I think, with this build, and you crit all the time, okay? So yeah, no need. So anyways, front lines, bottom edge, and then yeah, obviously both focus modes. I went with Maximus Conservation just because of DPS. Well, you think, okay, it doesn't give you damage, it actually even minus damage, okay? But being able to spam mindlessly, to never really stop spamming because of enough mana, I think is the way to go. Also, you might question yourself, I guess, why not MP Collector, okay? Well, against the boss, where the hell are you getting that MP Collector going, you know? Oh, okay. So this is a very good option against mobs for mobbing and a very good option against bosses as well. That's why to me it's more complete mod. It makes more sense in a build that, you know, is supposed to be good everywhere in the level, not supposedly good at mobbing, right? So yeah, maximize conservation all the way, don't choose MP Collector. It's just not a good thing anymore, right? Then increase HP, just because you wouldn't need it in most cases, even against the biggest and the baddest Colossus, but in the new mode Void Vessel, you actually probably can use that. Do you need that 100%? No, you can play without it and probably do really good, but personally, I think you're going to gain time by not searching for HP around you often, so yeah, it's probably a good option. Alright, now let's go, okay, so Reactor. Well, just to max a cooldown, I want to skill cooldown. Skill duration up actually makes my number 4 longer, which in return gives me more DPS, okay? Also, there's a few more effects, obviously with duration this lasts a bit longer, or as well, I forgot to mention that, but this is a good damage dealer. This is your speed, that is you're going to combine with your sword, okay? But I will talk about that further in a bit. Okay, so here, I chose these components mostly because of HP, okay? So you want to have a decent amount of HP and a 6% extra ATK with the big bad sword, okay? That's X minus is quite useful. So a very, very, very good set for HP. Even very, very good. One of the best. And then Hunter Memory just to have a bit more cooldown to really max the cooldown to be able to spam number 1, which in return gives you death by 1000 cuts all the time, okay? Or every 2 seconds to be precise. So yeah, 17k HP, so not bad, I would say. And you can check the stats here if you want. Decent range as well. Okay, now the Arche tuning. So I went through a few different routes and ended up with the best damage output you can get is from those 3 nodes here actually. So very important. Skill cooldown again. There I went with chill cohesion, that's obviously the way to go. An extra 20% raw skill power for mobbing, very simple. Even against the boss at the end, you are going to have this because you have mobs spawning around him, okay? Range to me was very important, so I really made a point at really getting it here, because this gives you an extra 400 let's say without this you would be at 900 on range. With it you are at 1200 something, okay? So it's quite massive. And obviously some ATK. Okay, well, let's just go to the rest now. So inversion reinforcement. Ammo system to me was actually quite important, more than I thought. While doing my little testing, I went through solo for like 45 minutes straight. I played solo, okay, to make a few adjustments, and here I made like 2 or 3 adjustments, okay? So this was actually important because I really like to reload my King's Guardians often, so I can use my skill more often in return. So in a way, this helps my skill, okay? This is insane, the amount of extra reload time modifier you get from this is really big, so use it, very strong, very useful. Chill focus rounds, obviously, gives you more ATK. More chill ATK, that's not exactly firearm ATK, okay? So you also do more damage with your skills when this is active, okay? So very important. And here a bit of HP, because HP lets you do everything you want. You don't need to pick HP. You can then focus on fighting, doing damage, and even picking up MP orbs if you want. So yeah, one less thing to worry about, a lot more to focus on. Okay, now the fun part. So the King's Guardians I picked this build for this one. Well, it's called Viessa. Looks cool, right? So bullet integration, simply because you're going to crit a lot, okay? So this is to me pretty much the way to go damage-wise from my testing. But expand weapon charge, so you're really comfortable and not reloading often, okay? You can always throw lances and then focus on spamming your skills, very important. And really also recycling genius to really reload faster. And once again, do not be bothered, like don't be reloading forever between rooms or in a room where you are like getting actively beaten up. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to die like that. You want to reload fast, shoot, and once a lance is on the floor, you are usually safe because everything gets frozen around it, okay? And then for the damage mods, Rifling Reinforcement is actually very good here. The best damage mod by far. is still priority. If you don't know about that, it's normal, it's okay. Fire rate up is obviously very important too. So yeah, that goes my build and my roles. For the Deus Ex Manus, I mean, at first nobody knew about it. Then I made a quick video about it. Some of us did a bit later, and now everybody and their mom knows that the biggest and baddest Deus Ex Manus players go with triple melee weapon critically damage. Boom. There we go. And there goes my build if you want. Simple, just all about damage. No, what's the name of this thing? No veil analyzer BS. To me, it's not so great. It's decent, but skills are the best way to get through shields. Okay, so why using a sword with this? I don't know. And for the last that I ended up not using, and personally, I think much rather go with where is it? Okay, I would much rather go with this, okay? Shadow to me would be more useful overall in the run, so that's the build you should go with 100%, okay? And I also went with triple consecutive attack damage. I'm not sure this is better. I think consecutive attack chance is probably better, but it's a 50-50. I think it's fairly close, okay? So yeah, that's my build and it's pretty strong. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want to, well, I talked earlier about the big bad combo for hordes, which is for your number 4, then for your number 3. Obviously, have your number 2 active and keep spamming your number 1. Well, you add freelancers on the ground to that, okay? And you see everything flying around you, getting destroyed so fast. Just, that's pretty much an ultimate thing you can do as ultimate Viessa to me. I guess at mobbing at least. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have fun playing Viessa. She's super cool. See you next video. Bye bye. Oh yeah, like and subscribe for more. And thanks for the support.